Baijayant Jay MP Baijayant Jay Panda has returned his salary as an MP in proportion to the time lost due to disruptions in the just concluded winter session of Parliament. He says it's a matter of his personal conscience. This has set the cat among the pigeons. Our question, why should our MPs earn their salaries if they don't do their work? Here's the story. We're coming back for a debate after that.
At the end of every session, I have been returning my salary and the daily allowance in proportion to the time lost due to disruption.
Amidst the clamour over no work, no pay, BJD MP Jay Panda has declared that he'll return his salary for the time lost in Parliament logjam.
We should have strict rules of automatic discipline. If any member goes into the well of the House during a session, I think he or she should be expelled for the day. If that member goes in for a second time during that session, I think he or she should be expelled for the whole session.
Jay Panda stirred up a hornet's nest with his announcement.
BJD MP Baijayant Jay Panda has offered to return his salary proportional to the time waste and lost during the session. While some of his fellow parliamentarians could follow his footsteps and show the same gesture, many of his fellow parliamentarians have said that it is a commitment not every parliamentarian can make.
While some criticize the BJD MP for imposing his conscience on the others, there are some who welcomed this gesture.
I think the conscience of each parliamentarian needs to look into it and say whether what Jay Panda has done is the right thing for the nation, and if we are building a strong nation, in my own opinion, Jay Panda needs to be supported.
I am not going into his motivations.
What Jay Panda has done is the right thing for the nation, and if we are building a strong nation, in my own opinion, Jay Panda needs to be supported.
I am not going into his motivations. Perhaps he has a principle to espouse and perhaps he has the affluence to sustain it. Mr. Panda's initiative is a matter of his personal choice.
The winter session was a complete washout, with the government and the opposition locking horns over demonetization. While our MPs continue to put politics over business in the Parliament, isn't it time that they pay us back? Bureau Report, NewsX.
BJD MP Baijayant Jay Panda has returned his salary as an MP in proportion to the time lost due to disruptions in the just concluded winter session of Parliament. He says it's a matter of his personal conscience. This has set the cat among the pigeons. Our question, why should our MPs earn their salaries if they don't do their work? Sudesh Verma, spokesperson of the BJP, joins me here in the studio. Dr. Nasir Hussain, spokesperson of the Congress, joining us from Bengaluru. KTS Tulsi, member of the Rajya Sabha. He's also a well-known senior advocate, joining us live from Delhi. Bijon Mishra, founder, trustee, Consumer Online Foundation, joining us from Lucknow. And Professor Madhav Nalapad, editorial director of the Sunday Guardian. He's in Delhi. Sudesh from the BJP, Jay Panda has set an excellent example. If your MPs don't work, why should we, the taxpayers, pay your salaries?
Actually, he has done a great thing and he must be appreciated for that.
Yeah.
But maybe other MPs may not be in his position because Jay Panda is well off from family point of view. But at the same time, you see a lot of demand.
What kind of an argument is that?
Let me complete it. You see, the whole point.
No, hold on.
Every MP is a well-off person.
No, you're not correct. You are not correct. Every MP is not a well-off person. You have to look into the profile of various MPs to understand that all may not be.
Of course, they are well-off persons. They get very fat salaries. They get very fat salaries without working. They get fat salaries without working.
Let me complete it.
They get fat salaries without working.
Mr. Majority, let me complete it. I have not made my point. I have just given my observation. What is this? Kindly listen to me. Kindly listen to me, Mr. Majority Mishra. I have not completed. What I am saying is, this demand has come even from the BJP. Some of the ministers of the BJP have always raised this issue. The issue is, you see, you cannot.
Are you going to direct your MPs now to follow Jay Panda and return their salaries in proportion to the disruption in this session?
Let's try to be reasonable.
No, what is your position then?
Let me try to articulate the position and kindly give me time because it's not as easy an issue on which you can say yes or no. You see, it's a very complicated issue because an MP, parliamentarian, is 24 hours on job. So are you going to deny him just because he boycotts Parliament? At times, boycotting Parliament is needed.
It's a simple issue.
When we did in 2G and Kohlgam, there was never before a scam in the country. So we had to do it. So are you going to say that disruption cannot be tactics of parliamentary democracy? You can't say that. What I'm saying is, you have to create a situation by which you can apply, because an MP is 24 hours on job. He is 24 hours on job.
How do we
You
know?
must understand that.
How do we know that?
He's supposed to do.
Yeah.
If an MP is not
Supposed to
doing,
do.
then it is wrong. He's
Dr.
supposed
Nasser
to do.
is sent from the Congress.
Even when he's boycotting
All right,
Parliament,
all right.
he's doing the constituency work.
So
Really?
no pay.
Dr.
He
Nasser
doesn't
is
have
sent
right
from
to
the
pay.
We
Congress.
have to go from
He has
right
no
to
right to
wrong. We
pay.
have to
There's
draw a
no right
line
to be paid.
where we
No
cross
right
the
to take
Rubicon.
an
Then
Okay,
we have to understand.
one at a time, one at a time. Dr. Nasser is sent
No,
from the...
the line is clear. The line is
They
clear. No
are
right
they are
to
not
pay.
appointed by
Bijan,
UPSC. You must
Bijan,
understand.
yes, Bijan, let him talk. Yeah.
Of course they are appointed by us. We have elected them. They are taking our
They are
money.
doing your job.
They are accountable to us.
Now you have to
They're
decide
not
whether it's the
accountable
right
to anybody
proportion or not.
They are
Okay.
not doing their job.
Well, one second, Siddharth. Dr.
They are
Nasser
not
is
doing
sent from
their
the
job.
Congress.
The parliament has not passed the legislations which needed to be passed.
All right, Dr. Nasser is sent, let me take Bijan's point forward. Dr. Nasser is sent from the Congress. In this winter session of Parliament, the Lok Sabha worked just 19 hours, lost 92 hours. There were 440 start questions to be asked, only 50 were answered on the floor of the House. In the Rajya Sabha, it worked for 22 hours, lost 86 hours. 12 bills were introduced, only one was passed. My question is, why should we, the taxpayer, pay your MPs for this kind of a record?
I have 2 points to make.
Yes.
One regarding Mr. Jay Panda's voluntarily he doesn't want to take money for the work not being done in the parliament. I would have really appreciated if he had done the same thing during UPA 2's time.
No.
When more than
He's actually been
85%
doing it.
of the time was lost.
I think he
in
said that
Rajya
he's
Sabha
been
and
doing
more
it for
than
the last
75% time was
4 or 5 years. he
Please
said.
allow me to speak.
Forget about past. Talk
He's
about
been
present.
doing it from, I think, around 2012 or 13, he said.
Forget about
And more than
past, talk about
75.
present.
Bijan,
Forget about past.
Mr. Please allow
Talk
me to
about
speak.
present.
Nana, you please allow me to speak. Nana, you please don't
Please
shout.
talk
Please allow
about
me to
past,
speak.
Present.
We are
Don't
not
talk
here
about
for a
past.
shouting
Don't talk
match.
about past. No, don't talk about
Nana, you
past.
please don't interrupt me in
Don't
the
talk
middle.
about
Nana, you
past.
don't interrupt me in the middle.
Don't talk about past.
Now you don't interrupt me in the middle.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Okay.
don't
One-
interrupt me in the
one at
middle.
a time,
Go ahead.
please.
We are here. We are
Go
not
ahead,
here
go
for a
ahead.
shouting
One
match.
at a time, please. Dr. Hussain from the Congress, yes. Dr.
Go
Hussain
ahead.
from the Congress.
The
Go ahead,
point,
go ahead.
point number
We're
one
talking
is I
about
would have
past.
appreciated.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would have really appreciated. I would have really appreciated if he had done this during UPA's time, when more than 85% of the time was lost in Rajya Sabha and more than 75% of the time was lost in Lok Sabha. Point number one. Point number two is, now you should also understand whose responsibility is to run the house. It is the government of the day's responsibility to run the house. Then, and when the country was going through such a huge crisis, when the common man was feeling the burnt of the decision taken by unilateral decision taken by the Prime Minister of the country, only thing the opposition was asking was the Prime Minister to be present in the House and answer
Okay,
for all the queries that the different political
Dr.
parties
Nasser
were
Hussain,
raising.
let's not get
It
into
is
that.
the duty of the Prime Minister
There have
to
been
be
many
present in
debates
the
on that
Parliament and
already.
answer the queries.
Let
He
me
didn't
just
do
say
that.
that. Let me
Neither
just
the
say the
ruling
Congress
party
party
tried to see
disrupted
that
Parliament
the
for the
business runs
first
before
3
the
weeks and the
houses.
BJP disrupted Parliament in the last weeks. So nobody play holier than thou over there. Bijan, very quickly, taxpayers are paying 2.5 lakh rupees per minute
This is for the-
to
I
run
think
Parliament.
Jujad, I
What
think
do you
we
say
should
about this
admit-
mockery being
One
made
minute,
about
I think,
Parliament?
Jujad, I
2
think you
crores
should
per
admit
day.
that this was for the first
2.5
time that the
lakh
Jujad
rupees
went with the
per
playground
minute,
well of the
Bijan
house.
Mishra.
Jujad.
Very quickly, Bijan, yeah.
Why
For the
should
first
we
time
pay
this
2
regime
crores per
bankers
day?
protested
Why
with
should we
playgrounds
pay
in the
2
well of
crores
the house.
per
One
day?
second, Dr.
Why
Hussain, let
should we
Bijan
pay
have a
2
say
crores
now.
per day?
Yeah.
And the rippling effect of several thousand crores getting lost every day because the Parliament is not functioning. And it is not our job to find out who is responsible. The Parliament must function. The
KTS
Parliament
Tulsi.
must function.
Yeah, Mr. KTS Tulsi.
The opposition
You're a member
should
of the
make
Rajya
sure the
Sabha.
Parliament functions.
Yeah, Mr.
The
Tulsi.
present government must make sure the Parliament functions.
All right. Mr. KTS Tulsi, you're a MP of the Rajya Sabha. How do you feel about this colossal wastage of time, money, and an opportunity to debate and pass laws?
You see, I won't return the salary or the money that we are paid for sitting. I won't, because I have more than 95% attendance. I give up my work, I give up cases in the court
Yes.
to be present in the House. And I have been there each time. I want to do my duty. So to say that I should return, that's not my fault. I have never gone to the well of the House. I have not raised a slogan. I have not disrupted. Why should I suffer? But I want to say that why are we, the disruption for the first time perhaps, I have seen it day after day, is taking place from both sides, the Treasury as well as opposition.
Yes.
And now one has never imagined that Treasury benches will disrupt the House. I don't know why. I want to say that Mr. Panda would have perhaps heard these words. On 26 August 2012, Mr. Jaitley said in the House that obstruction in Parliament brings greater benefit to the country. On 28 August 2012, he said obstruction is a legitimate tactic for expose the government. Mrs. Sushma Swaraj on 7 September 2012 in Lok Sabha said, not allowing Parliament is a form of democracy. If it is a form of
whoever's in
democracy,
opposition
then
uses
how can it not? How can it
Parliament.
cease to
It's
be?
not a golden rule.
Yeah, okay, but you know, I mean, we've been over this how many times before now?
Jaitley's
Okay.
remark is
see,
not a golden rule.
Professor-
If BJP does,
Yeah, but sticking
if
to the point of...
BJP does, it's golden.
Yeah, but sticking to the
When
point
the
of
other
Jay
persons do
Panda,
it, it's
Professor
fine.
Nalapal.
Talking about everybody.
Yeah. No. Both sides use it. Whoever's in opposition uses
Let the
it
BJP
as a
apologize
tactic.
first
the
to the
BJP
nation.
used it during UPA times, and Mr. Tulsi is quoting, Sushma Swaraj and Arun Jaitley from the time. The Congress is using that now as well. Of course, the BJP was also using in the last week. But one second, Jaitley from the time. The Congress is using that now as well. Of course, the BJP was also using in the last week. But one second. Sticking to the point of the debate, Professor Nalapat, several MPs have counter views on what Jay Panda has done. You see, one MP...
topic of the debate.
One second, Professor Nalapat,
Yes,
one MP has
let's come to
said
the
that...
point.
Yeah, one MP has said today that, look, Jay Panda is a well-to-do person. Every MP cannot afford, to give up their salary. Even I think Sudesh made that point. A second point is that party bosses actually decide whether Parliament should be disrupted or not. Why should individual MPs be penalized? In fact, Mr. Tulsi is saying that, look, he has over 95% attendance. What do you say to that, Professor Nalapat?
Well, I'd like to say that I congratulate Mr. Tulsi for the dedicated way in which he has attended Parliament, and I do wish that this kind of behavior would become more commonplace in the Parliament. The fact of the situation is there do need to be certain rules in place for the simple reason that now Parliament is telecast live, and that's a very good thing. In fact, parliamentary committees also should have their proceedings telecast live. As much as possible of the working of government should be transparent and telecast. Now, from that point of view, MPs who are doing anything other than reasoned argument, or maybe from another point of view, unreasonable argument, but who are arguing in a civil manner without recourse to their muscle power, without recourse to any kind of threat or intimidation, I think this should be the way Parliament functions. And those who do recourse to muscle power, those who try and block proceedings, these individuals should certainly be proceeded against. So I think what Jay Panda needs to do is not just set a kind of personal example, which of course, but give a proposal to make rules in Parliament, both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, that can enforce a certain amount of discipline, so that the public...
I think Professor Nalapat, Professor Nalapat, that's a very good point.
Shouting.
In fact, Jay Panda has made one or two suggestions. Let me put it to Mr. K.T.S. Tulsi.
Said very well put.
Yeah. Mr. Tulsi, Jay Panda said that, look, most disruptions in Parliament happen over the setting of agenda and whether debate should be under voting rule or not. Now, he's pointed out that, look, legislatures in most modern democracies have rules about this. The British Parliament, for example, the government lists matters, and there are certain days when the opposition is given a chance to list matters. How do you feel, Mr. Tulsi, that we should be framing rules so that these unnecessary disruptions in our Parliament go down to the minimal?
That's true. I think that the rules should be made with consensus of all parties, that there will not be a disruption. There can be a mode of protest
Yes.
against, there can be a way of raising an issue,
Yeah.
but there should be just be no disruption. And even the BJP needs to apologize to the nation.
Apologize
Otherwise,
for
they
what?
have no moral authority to say that this rule
Apologize
should be
because
changed
you
now.
disrupted Parliament.
So the rules will be changed only when they apologize to the nation that
You
they
cannot expect us
session
to
after
apologize for
session
your
when wasted.
behavior in Parliament.
Yeah, but you know,
Everybody
one
can be
second,
justified.
Bijon, but
Can I
Bijon, yeah, but no, Griggs, I don't want to get into an old debate now. Bijon, we're running out of time.
can I come
You know,
in?
my fear, Bijon Mishra, is that it probably suits most political parties
Tushar, I
to
want
have
to
a
say
leeway
something.
to disrupt
Firstly-
Parliament. You see, in the winter session of Parliament that just happened, for different reasons, the Congress
Correct.
disrupted
First
Parliament
we
the
need
first
to-
3
first
weeks,
we need to
the
recognize
BJP
and
disrupted
congratulate
Parliament the last
Jay
week.
Panda.
Bijon.
We need to recognize and congratulate Jay Panda.
Judhar, even
We
even
first
your
need to congratulate
even
That
your
everyone is
short
recognizing
Jay
Mr.
Panda
Bijon Mishra.
and-
Don't try to
and-
take holier
and-
than thy,
we-
position.
we need to-
Everyone
we need to
recognizes, but you have to
understand
build institutional
that it is high
mechanism.
time-
This is what we are stressing at. Parliament has to run through
No,
institutional
we
mechanism,
all have
not
to
through
work
individual
together.
valor.
We all have to work together to build the institution of the Parliament.
But how
We
do
all
you
have
build?
to
That is
work
what-
together
that
to
is
build
what
the
we have to
institution of
discuss.
the
Well,
Parliament. Everybody knows how
Jay
the
Panda
Parliament should
suggested one
function.
solution.
Parliament cannot be functioning in a
Let apart from the government, let apart from the government, let the opposition also have powers to list business on certain specified days. Professor Nalapat, Professor Nalapat.
Tushar, you tell me, in case of standoff between the government and the opposition, what is the mechanism? Mechanism is the speaker. Why should the opposition not listen to the speaker? Who holds neutral position now?
Okay, one
That
at
is
a
the whole
time.
issue.
One at a
If you
time.
don't respect the institution of the speaker,
One
disruptions
at a
are
time.
bound to happen.
We only have 1 minute left. Professor
You
Nalapat,
are
very
saying
quickly.
that, Mr. Tulsi, you are saying we disrupted. We did not disrupt.
All right, but
We
one
want to
second.
discuss Augusta.
Parliament
You disrupted.
cannot be
Professor
dictators.
Nalapat, any quick suggestions on how we can
cannot be
frame
dictators.
rules to minimize disruptions in Parliament? Professor Nalapat.
Jujhar, can I come in?
Professor Nalapat, quickly please. Any
Jujhar,
ideas?
can I come in, please?
What kind of rules can we frame to minimize disruptions in Parliament? Professor Nalapat, please.
Jujhar, can I come in, please?
Okay. Okay, looks like he's not got audio. Let me give, just quickly, Dr. Hussain, you want to come in? Yeah, 20 seconds, please.
See, the Parliament was disrupted for a specific purpose because the Prime Minister chose to communicate with the Parliament through the public rallies that were organized
This is
by
your
his political
allegation. We have
party
told
when the
so many
winter
times.
session was
Umpteen
on.
times we have refuted
This has
this.
never
We have
happened
said
in the
that
history of
nothing
this
wrong.
independent
People wanted
India.
to know
He
what
was
should have
running
allowed
away
people
from the
to
Parliament.
listen to debate
He
in
didn't
Parliament.
wanted to
You did
face
not
the
allow.
Parliament. That
Now
is
what
the
did he
reason
do?
why he was
Accuse us.
disrupted.
All right.
He was
This
never,
was not a
he was
scam.
never
Like
there.
this scam, like
This
2G
is the
scam,
first
or
time it has
combination scam.
happened
There was
that
no
is the
scam
Prime
in it.
Minister of the country
It was
has
just a decision by the
amended the
central
Parliament
government.
for a
Come on now.
We
complete
needed to discuss
session.
it.
Oh, come on
For a
now.
complete
Why did you want to
session.
discuss under such and such
For a
room?
complete
All right, okay.
session,
Why
the
did you want to
Prime
have
Minister
this
was
Let's not
there.
go over that
He was
again.
not ready
Let's
to
not go
have
about.
a
I've got 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Sudesh from the
That is the reason
BJP.
why the Parliament was disrupted.
Okay, okay.
He has to apologize to the nation.
Okay, okay,
The
okay.
Prime Minister has to apologize to the nation.
We've run out of
The Prime
time.
Minister has to
We all
One
want
second.
accountability to be fixed in Parliament.
1 second, 1
All
second.
disruption, but a way has to be devised.
1 second, 15 seconds.
All the parliamentarians
Sudesh from the BJP, the government has an absolute majority in the Lok Sabha. This is the time when you can create and pass rules on how Parliament should function. Are you going to do that or not?
Thought process
Yeah.
that is taking place, that
Yes.
some mechanisms should be evolved to
Yeah.
avoid this disruption. Otherwise, legislative business cannot happen in Parliament.
All right, okay, okay, we leave it over there.
We are trying,
You
but
know,
opposition has to cooperate in that.
You know, there's a universal principle. When we go to work, we get paid. And if we don't go to work, we don't get paid. Why should netas make different rules for themselves? I mean, just, you know, under the argument that disruptions is a legitimate form of protest in a democracy. Sorry, Mr. Neta, the majority in this country don't buy that. We've got to leave it over there. Thank you very much to all our guests for joining us. Thank you for watching.